My name is Jeremy White. I am the founder and CEO of CodeWeavers. Well, I'm excited to be here. It's great to reconnect with essentially my friends and coworkers in the Linux community. It's a really great way to essentially connect with a lot of different elements of the Linux community and kind of restore friendships and go out and have a beer. It's always good fun to connect and kind of learn what's evolving and changing in the Linux community. Well, today I'm very much looking forward to the ISV summit. I very much enjoy sort of being the crotchety old man who complains about what we ISV needs. So it's sort of my session to whine and complain. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm very interested in the ISV issues. I was the primary instigator for the XDG utils, which is sort of a very simple integration tool. I'm interested in the LSB process, and I have a secret motive to see if I can get wine better integrated to the LSB process. I'd like the distributions to stop breaking wine. That's my, so I doubt I'll accomplish that today, but that's my ulterior motive. Well, we're very excited. We shipped Wine 1.0 last year, and we held that moniker for 15 years for very good reason, and we're very proud of what we've accomplished. Wine has really come a very long way. It runs far more applications than it ever has, and we're really looking forward to Wine 2.0, which hopefully won't take 15 years. Well, right now we're sort of finishing up full off Windows XP compatibility, and now we're working towards .NET 3.5 compatibility and really kind of the next generation. And with that, there's always just lots of little challenges in Wine. You can run like Lord of the Rings Online runs great, but its launcher doesn't run, and so there's a lot of little issues like that we have to clean up. Well, the company is doing very well, and so it's a bit of an interesting story for our Linux users. We're primarily a Linux company. We've in fact been doing the Linux business since '98. That's why I say I'm a grizzled old man. But a few years ago, with the introduction of the Intel Mac, we essentially saw a whole new market opportunity for our company. And we've really spent the last few years pursuing that market, and it has grown. It's about half of our business now, so we're very excited. But what's really wonderful for me, because Linux is my first true love, is that the Linux market seems to be really growing and really fighting back. And so I can credibly, as a businessman, go return to my first love because there's enough real growth and real opportunity there. And that's been very personally exciting for me. So I'm sort of glad to be here. It's sort of a really great trip for me. Boy, it's changed so much. I mean, from the challenge, the first time I installed Linux was, I had a stack of floppy disks and I had to buy a particular CD-ROM the next time. I mean, and now it installs better, far more cleanly than any other operating system on the planet. It runs on far more hardware than any other. I mean, I was installing Windows on a computer the other day. I'm like, what do you mean I have to go find a driver disk? And the richness of the graphical environments, it's just astonishing how far it's come. It really, I guess it did take nearly 20 years, but still, it's really remarkable. That's a tough one. I think really what needs to happen now is there's sort of that 80-20 rule, or in software development, you do all of the work and you say, okay, we're done, and that's half the project. And then the next half is sort of the spit and polish, the little details, the little integration. And I think I would invite the Linux community to really give that little spit and polish the attention, so that your wireless adapter always works, and so that the behavior of the desktop is seamless in every little way. That those details start to become very compelling, now that essentially the engine is sound. So my pet project, well, I have a number of pet projects, but my personal pet project is that we're trying to support Lord of the Rings Online, this massively multiplayer game, and it works brilliantly. I have a Myth TV computer at home. I have it hooked up to my 42-inch LCD screen. It's this beautiful thing, and the game runs. It's just gorgeous, and my wife and I will play together, so we have great fun. But unfortunately, the launcher doesn't run. So I've been trying it's a .NET 1.1 application, and it's been driving me crazy. So it's my pet project. It's not really a company priority. You know, I think that effort is moving, but it's a very slow process. Again, I think this is a case where, we're a multi-headed beast, and so we don't have a dictator who can say, you will go work on the desktop, and to some extent I think there'd be a benefit to that. But I'm fairly pleased. The XDG Utils was a very, very simple application, and it works, and I think it's been adopted pretty widely, so I feel like my little contribution was of some value. There's a lot of exciting things going on, and anyone who hasn't tried Wine or our supported version crossover lately should really go try it, because it's very exciting how rapidly it's changing, and how much more it does now than it did even 6 months ago. Well, there's two organizations we work with, both the Software Freedom Law Center and the Software Freedom Conservancy. And the Software Freedom Law Center has essentially served as the legal counsel to the Wine project. And that has been incredibly invaluable, because there are obviously fairly complex legal issues with Wine, and they've been able to really spend a lot of time with us and really help assure not just ourselves but our customers that Wine is a safe technology and that there are valid legal reasons for believing in it. And that's been very compelling and very powerful. And at the same time, we've been working with the Software Freedom Conservancy, which is sort of an umbrella group, a shelter organization. And the Wine project, rather than going through the hassle of forming our own 501c3 and our own governance model and all of these things that, frankly, we shouldn't be doing. We should be fixing Wine. There's plenty to do, right? We don't need to do that hoorah. And they do all of that for us, and they have been fantastic. Bradley and the crew there has been fantastic. They're an incredible boon to the community, and any open source project that is struggling with their governance should give Bradley a call. It's a great organization.